Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Tasyai namostu ka tasyai. Yatratma Hari Ishvaraha. Yatkatvana nivartante. Shanta sannyasino malaha. Tasyai namostu ka tasyai. Yatratma Hari Ishvaraha. Yatkatvana nivartante. Shanta sannyasino malaha. Tasyai. Unto that. Namaha. Our respectful obeisances. Astu. Let there be. Kashtayai. Direction. Yatra. Wherein. Atma. The Supersoul. Harihi. The Supreme Personality of Godhead. Ishvaraha. The Supreme Controller. Yat. Which. Gatva. Approaching. Na. Never. Nivartante. Return. Shantaha. Peaceful. Sannyasinaha. Saintly persons in the renounced order of life. Amalaha. Pure. Translation: let us offer our respectful obeisances unto that direction where the Supreme Personality of Godhead is situated. Think about that for a moment. Which direction is that? Where those purified souls in the renounced order of life, the great saintly persons go, and from which, having gone, they never return. Without sleep, fully controlling their minds and living only on their breath, the predominating deities of the various planets began worshipping Rishikesh with this meditation. And Prabhupada also points out in the purport in which direction the Lord lives is a very significant statement. The words tasyai, kashtayai are very significant. Everywhere, in every direction, in every heart and in every atom, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is situated. In his features as Brahman and Paramatma, then what is the purpose of saying tasyai kashtayai, or in that direction where Hari is situated? Question mark. So that's the question. Here's Prabhupada's response. During Hiranyakashipu's time, his influence was everywhere. But he could not force his influence into the places where the Supreme Personality of Godhead had his pastimes. For example, on the earth there are such places as Vrindavan and Ayodhya, which are called dhammas. In the dham, there is no influence from Kali Yuga or any demon. If one takes shelter of such a dham, worship of the Lord becomes very easy, and resultant spiritual advancement quickly takes place. In fact, in India, one may still go to Vrindavan and similar places to achieve the results of spiritual activities quickly. I'm going to read for what the verse writer, but he's not here. 27 goes on the board tomorrow, because the connecting verses explain or amplify the same point. So next translation, 24. Then there appeared before them a transcendental sound vibration. The demigods are praying. They hear this transcendental disembodied voice emanating from a personality not visible to material eyes. The voice was as grave as the sound of a cloud, and it was very encouraging, driving away all fear. The voice of the Lord, from the direction where he resides, whichever direction that is, vibrated as follows. O best of the learned persons, do not fear. I wish all good fortune to you. Become my devotees by hearing and chanting about me and offering me prayers, for these are certainly meant to award benedictions to all living entities. I know all about the activities of Hiranyakashipu and shall surely stop them very soon. Please wait patiently until that time. Purport. Sometimes people are very much eager to see God. In considering the word mad darshana, or seeing me, which is mentioned in this verse, one should note that in the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says, Bhaktyamam abhijanati. In other words, the ability to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead, or to see Him, or to talk with Him, depends on one's advancement in devotional service, which is called bhakti. In bhakti, there are 9 different activities: Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Bandhanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedanam. Because all these devotional activities are absolute, there is no fundamental difference between worshipping the deity in the temple, seeing Him, and chanting His glories. Indeed, all of these activities are ways of seeing Him, for everything done in devotional service is a means of direct contact with the Lord. The vibration of the Lord's voice appeared in the presence of all the devotees, and although the person vibrating the sound was unseen to them, they were meeting or seeing the Lord because they were offering prayers and because the vibration of the Lord was present. Contrary to the laws of the material world, there is no difference between seeing the Lord, offering prayers, and hearing the transcendental vibration. Pure devotees, therefore, are fully satisfied by glorifying the Lord. Such glorification is called kirtan. Performing kirtan and hearing the vibration of the sound Hare Krishna is actually seeing the Supreme Personality of Godhead directly. One must realize this position, and then one will be able to understand the absolute nature of the Lord's activities. Very nice understanding we're getting. Yesterday we were speaking about the platform of unconditional devotional service and the circumstantial devotional service of the demigods. But they know how to pray to the Lord, they know how to approach Him, and as Prabhupada is just explaining in the purport, this sense of the Lord being all-pervasive by His Paramatma and Brahman feature is also known to the demigods. Their worship, because they're directly in the service of Lord Vishnu, specifically Garbhodakshay Vishnu, the Lord of the universe, their father, or their forefather, at least, is Lord Brahma, who was born from Garbhodakshay Vishnu. So they're worshippers of Lord Vishnu. And the expansion of Garbhodakshay Vishnu is Kshirodakshay Vishnu. And in one sense, it's the two or the three Vishnus, they're one entity. Do a little exercise, yeah. Who can't hear me? That's this. But he said if I have this light on, then what the camera shows is a glare from here, and above that you can't see anything. Therefore I turned it off, based on our discussion yesterday. But if he wants to turn that, the spotlight on, so I can't see anything over in that side of the room, that's okay too. I'm okay. I just want to be cooperative. I'll get my sunglasses out and do a nice podcast. Krishna.com? Okay. Well, Krishna.com is just, they're promoting, please connect your podcast with ours so we can broadcast all over the world.
It's also connected.
Okay, beautiful. Oh, okay.
It's showing the deities right now on you.
Okay. At one shot, huh?
One shot.
So it's like a split screen? Okay. If you want to do the light, go ahead. We're okay.
Either way.
Okay. I'll just have to be effulgent or something. Okay, so 5, 10. Okay, there's 15 persons in the audience. Within the heart of each one of us is Paramatma. That's what our scriptures say. So, how many Paramatmas? One. Although variously manifested. The example that's given in the scripture is just like the reflection of the sun on pots of water. We don't have that, but in Vedic times, pots of water were quite common. So many images of the sun reflected on the pots of water, but it's one sun. Like that, one Paramatma, although variously manifest. So now we'll go up a little bit. How many universes are there? Unlimited. You can't count them all, so many. Finite, but you can't count them all. So many. And within each universe, there's the soul of the universe, Garbhodakshay Vishnu. How many Garbhodakshay Vishnus? One. Variously manifest. Now the next one is easier. Mahavishnu or Karanadakshayi Vishnu generates all the universes. He's one. So now so many Paramatmas, so many Garbhodakshay Vishnus and one Mahavishnu. How many Vishnus? One. The various Vishnus, the Purusha avatars, are given different nomenclature, or they're named differently because of the function they perform, although it's one entity, Lord Vishnu, manifesting himself variously. And so the demigods, they're worshipping, in one sense they're worshipping Garbhodakshay Vishnu, but it's also said that when they go to the shore of the milk ocean to offer prayers to Lord Vishnu to please descend, like at the time of the needing Krishna to descend. They went to Shirodakshayi Vishnu. So, in one sense, the technical distinction is not so important because it's one Vishnu. And therefore the scriptures sometimes say the avatars of the Lord are avatars. This is discussed briefly in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Sometimes it is said they're avatars of Kshirodakshay Vishnu. Sometimes it's said that they're avatars of Garbhodakshay Vishnu. And as Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, and there's many other statements, some say this, some say that, and it might seem that there are contradictory statements from the scripture, but how is that possible? It's just different ways of stating the same truth. Like when Krishna appeared to save Maharaj Parikshit, the Brahmastra of Ashvatthama, Uttara came to Krishna, please protect. So, where was that place from which the Supreme Lord, Personality Godhead, Lord Vishnu appeared to stop the Brahmastra of Ashvatthama? From what place did he appear? So, here's one option. From the heart of Maharaj Parikshit. He appeared from the heart of Maharaj Parikshit and appeared outside, and so Maharaj Parikshit could see. Any other options? We'll have a multiple choice by the time we're done. From Uttara's prayer. That's a nice one. Okay, the question is, from where did Lord Vishnu appear? He was also present where? Yeah, he was already there. So he just was already there, he just appeared. So from where is a needless question. Because he's all pervasive. He's within every atom and between every atom. So from where did he appear? Again, it's this idea that there's although variously situated, to ask the question from where is a misleading question, because he's everywhere. And so he appeared from everywhere. Or it's not like this Vishnu appeared and the other ones just kind of hung out. He's everywhere. So that's what's tasmai tasyai kashtayai. From whichever direction you are, which is everywhere. And then Prabhupada's point is that wherever he is, Hiranyakashipu can't have influence, although Hiranyakashipu's influence was all over creation. He was like competing with Paramatma to be influential everywhere. Because he's not a small time, he's a big time demon. And small time demons are doing the same thing in a small time way. They're trying to usurp the influence of the personality Godhead and place themselves in that position. That's what demoniac mentality means. And although it's embarrassing to say so, we all have such mentality, otherwise we wouldn't be here. There's some idea of competing with Krishna for supremacy. Of course, competing with Krishna is silly, but here we are. So we have such inspiration also. Otherwise we wouldn't be here, trying to be the enjoyer of Krishna's energy. So simultaneously these two things, taking shelter of the personality of Godhead, at the same time means diminishing or eliminating the influence of demoniac mentality. We all just observed Krishna Janmashtami, and one very interesting purport is there in the killing of the children of Devaki by Kamsa. The commentary explains that Kamsa represents material existence personified, and Devaki was afraid of material existence, and by her fear of material existence personified by Kamsa, the 6 children of Devaki were killed. She was thus, those 6 children representing Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moha, Mada, Matsarja. You're familiar with that purport. So Devaki was preparing the way to receive Krishna by eliminating from her heart Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moha, Mada, Matsarja, by fear of material existence. I'll do it again, a little differently. In order to be situated with Krishna in the spiritual world again, the false shelters of material existence need to be given up. Devaki did that. The demigods are doing that by their fear of Hiranyakashipu. So, no, he's serving a good function in one sense. Material existence personified, Hiranyakashipu, being feared by the demigods. They're taking shelter of Vishnu. By taking shelter of Vishnu, thus their own hearts are freed from that same contamination. To whatever degree that contamination may exist in our hearts, by taking full shelter of the personality of Godhead, which, well, there's hesitation to do full shelter, to take full shelter of Krishna, if we're still coveting some hope to enjoy in the material world, like the 10th offense against the chanting of the holy name. Not having complete faith in the holy name, but instead maintaining material attachments. In spite of understanding so many instructions in this manner, we may do that because we're not having sufficient understanding and respect for the very dangerous condition that the material existence holds for us. That story I told yesterday of Prabhupada saying why he will not fall down as he's always praying to Krishna. Please protect me from illusion, from engaging in service to Maya, service to illusion. And there's so many varieties of service to illusion, including the mode of goodness variety of service to illusion. More noticeable are passion and ignorance. Less noticeable is service to illusion in the mode of goodness. But that's also service to illusion. Maya inhibits our taking shelter of Krishna, or checks, it blocks our taking shelter of Krishna. So we can thank Hiranyakashipu for being material existence personified. It works like that. Just a little personal anecdote. When people ask me how I came to Krishna consciousness, I thank the United States government for helping me come to Krishna consciousness. Because in my personal life, I was going along in La La Land thinking, I'm on my way to my career and happiness and all that. And the United States government sent me a draft notice. I should show up and get my army uniform and go off to Vietnam. So that I was thinking, that's ridiculous. Somebody that's in medical school stops medical school to go off fight a stupid war in Vietnam that nobody believes in except, some crazy people or some manipulative people that want to get rid of some useless young people in a legitimate way. At least that's how the youth at the time were regarding the Vietnamese War. And so I had to do something, because here comes little Hiranyakashipu saying, go fight my war. So that sent me on a path of addressing myself to the problem. The problem was, if I don't show up, I'm put in jail. And if I show up, I'm sent to Vietnam, and I don't want to do either one of those. I don't like option A or option B. What am I going to do? So someone advised me, you can file a conscientious objector form that says to the government, I cannot take part in the armed forces of the United States of America because of my conviction in God, which is, then you have to fill in the form. So I know how to get A's in exams, and I knew how to fill it out so I could get free from the draft. But I didn't know how to fill in that answer so that I was satisfied. So that was a very important step. A little integrity saved me, along with the government. So I wanted to be able to answer that question to my satisfaction. And I started thinking, what kind of an education is this? I'm a Dean's List student. I don't even know what my own convictions are. Excuse me, but I'm being cheated. I'm being led down this conveyor belt of I don't know who I am, and live my whole life and being successful at not knowing who I am, what my convictions are. Wait a minute, I'm getting off this bus. So I took some time to explore what my convictions are. And there were a lot of things that were very clear. They weren't my convictions. There was somebody else's game that I wasn't going to play. But what my own convictions were was something else. And so here I am, protected from Maya's call by taking shelter in these approaching God. Even in the Gajendra Moksha Lila, it's very specific. In the prayers that he was reciting, he didn't specify who he was praying to. And so it says in the commentary, Brahma considered, Shiva considered, the nature of what he's asking is not me, and it's not me. And Lord Vishnu came because although he's not calling by name, it's me. So someone may not even know who God is. In which direction do we go to find him? But there may be some basic faith. He's everywhere, just like Prahlad, when was asked by Hiranyakashipu, where are you getting this strength? I'm the most powerful person in the universe and I can't harm you at all. Where do you get your strength from? And Prahlad said, from the same place you are, my dear demoniac father. From Vishnu. Oh, Vishnu! Oh, Vishnu. Where is this Vishnu? He's everywhere, Father. Oh, he's everywhere. Is he in this pillar? Yes, Father, he's in this pillar. Camera got it. In this pillar. Because he's everywhere. So it's a basic faith. that God exists everywhere. That's, of course, in his Paramatma feature, as the purport is saying, or his Brahman feature, his impersonal feature, and his localized feature. He's everywhere. And this is the feature that the demigods are worshipping, the Vishnu Tattva form of the Lord. And so where he is, Hiranyakashipu has no access. And so wherever you are, in whichever direction you are, which is everywhere, we offer our obeisances unto you. So that means that's a good prayer. It's actually very clever, because then they're protected everywhere. Tasyai namostu kashtayai yatratma hari ishvaraha. So, then Prabhupada comments in the purport, wherever the dham of the Lord is, there's no access to demons and mischief. Well, go to Vrindavan, and what do you find? There's gundas, there's crime, there's, sewage, there's dirt, there's all kinds of things that, we don't want to contradict what Prabhupada is saying, but surely looks like there's some bad stuff here in the Dham. And so what's the solution to that one? And the solution is, Bhaktivinoda Thakur speaks in Navadvip Dham Mahatmya, in his classic question-answer fashion. He's describing the glories of the Holy Dham. And then in the question-answer session he says, well, wait a minute, one can't see all these things, these pastimes of Lord Chaitanya and his devotees, and one can't see those things. Why isn't one can't see those things? This is the Dham. He gives the metaphor like oil on water. When you put oil on water, what happens? It spreads out in a very thin film. So when you look at the water, you don't see the water, you see the film of oil on top of the water. And underneath is the water. Like that, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, the Holy Dham conceals itself by this veneer, this covering of this other stuff. The gundas, the sewage, the dirt, the rickshaw wallas, the car accidents, and, bad smells and carbon monoxide fumes coming out of the... Anyway, all the unpleasant things of this material world are found in that veneer-like external. And so one needs to go more deeply. One needs to go more deeply in everything in Krishna consciousness in order to get the full experience, which is in the next purport also. That the demigod, just by praying, the Lord was present, like that the answer someone gave. By the prayers of Uttara, the Lord appeared from that medium. Because within the prayers of a sincere devotee, the Lord is there. Within the holy name of the Lord, He's there. Within the processes of devotional service, one is directly contacting the personality of Godhead, and while so engaged, Hiranyakashipu or Hiranyakashipu-like influences cannot enter, unless, of course, we're inattentive and not having full faith in the holy name and maintaining material attachments. And, oh, this is great, I'm chanting Hare Krishna and my material attachments are being fulfilled. It's a good program. So that's not the Shuddha Nam. That's not just listening to Prabhupada explaining this morning in a lecture. We're asking the Lord for something material. That's better than not going to the Lord at all. It's an expression of one's piety or symptom of a pious soul. Chatur vidha bhajante mam jana sukrita norjana. Those who are sukriti, they'll go to the personality of Godhead. As the circumstantial demigods are doing. But the unalloyed devotee isn't circumstantial, or isn't in all circumstances. So we're being trained like that, to not just go to God when you want something, but to go to God because we're constitutionally His servants. And in that consciousness, we're always protected. We don't have to make a special prayer for protection. We're always protected. And one feels always protected also. That sense of being connected by this internal potency of the Lord, by being in this, like He's holding your hand. He's got His arm around you. He's protecting you. And He's all powerful. It's no problem space, as they're saying these days, no fear. That's the place of no fear. So demigods, they're fearful. And in taking shelter, they feel some safety. They hear this voice. The voice says, be peaceful. Know that you're protected. Soon I will come and I'll dismiss this Hiranyakashipu and his influence. Trust in that. Be peaceful and wait. Soon I will come. So this is the demigods have this qualification. It's like Mother Earth went to the demigods because they have this very strong connection with Lord Vishnu. It's because of their spiritual qualification. So we speak sometimes about their mixed desires, but at the same time they're very highly qualified persons. But to speak of going to heavenly planet, to being a controller of a heavenly planet. Very elevated, very dear to the Lord. And He also helps them to further purify themselves, not just being protected from demons. The real protection is from the own impurities within our own hearts. Like the nails of Hiranyakashipu, nails of Lord Nrsingadev are to destroy Hiranyakashipu, but more importantly, to destroy the Hiranyakashipu-like desires in our own hearts. So when we pray to Lord Nrsingadev, that's the real benediction of the Lord. That with your, this is in the 5th canto of the Bhagavatam. It's a really nice verse in the prayers of the residents of Jambudweep. Vajra Dhangstra. Again, you see the sharp nails and sharp teeth. With those sharp nails, it's not just for destroying the demons, it's for ripping from our hearts all impurities. Really taking shelter of the personality of God, it is meant for that purpose. And automatically, the influence, outside influence, cannot harm us. This is connected with this theme that's being discussed in this section of verses. When purity of heart is there, we're safe. Even something comes your way that looks dangerous. You're safe. Krishna's protection is there. Or just conclude with this. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's statement is, Vaishnava knows that no one can harm himself except himself. It's our own impurities that cause us harm. And when the heart, conversely, when the heart is pure, that's the inviting place for Krishna to sit, and Krishna's protection is there. Whatever comes your way, Krishna's protection is there, and the devotee that's pure knows that. So the obstacle is our own impurity for being safe. Nice lesson. We learned that lesson. It's our ticket back to Godhead. Any comments? Questions? Yes?
Last Sunday we had a person who turned up at our Sunday feast program, and she's a yoga teacher, and so she was saying that recently she's been praying to the universe that she'd be able to engage in devotional service. And then she said, I turned up at the Hare Krishna temple. And with the one program that she just attended, she felt this was the place of devotional service.
Mm.
So when you were saying how Gajendra was praying, he didn't specify who he was praying, he didn't speak about who he was praying to. Mm-hmm. The Lord came and said, he's praying to me, so he came to him. The same way, I feel like Kalachandji came to her and said, come to the Hare Krishna temple, come to my temple. And even though they're thinking they're praying to the universe, the Lord hears the prayer because it can only apply to him. Only he can grant devotional service. Mm. So it's really amazing that
very nice.
That happened.
Where there's sincerity, the Lord reciprocates, without exception. Even the motivation is mixed. So what's the eligibility, the chapter from Nectar Devotion? What's the eligibility for a candidate for devotional service? It's sincerity, eagerness, sincere desire. I want Krishna. And we're tested, I've noticed, we're tested regularly. It's not just, the first time around, and then, okay, that's it, no more tests. What is it that we want? Do we want, temporary solution to life's problems, or do we want a relationship with Krishna? What do we want? And as long as it's mixed, then that's what we get. The Bhagavatam is teaching us again and again, training us again and again. Come to the position of unalloyed devotion, even if you're not clear what it is. Try to appreciate from the example of those who know what it is, and follow their footsteps, and you'll get there. Like the example from last night, the lighthouse example. You may not even, by following the principle that we're hearing repeatedly, principle of pure devotional service unmixed with karma and gyan. That's Rupa Goswami's core teaching. Quite likely, many devotees don't even have such a clear sense of how influenced we are by fruitive intention, even in devotional service. Anyway, the message we're getting is unmixed with karma and gyan. And there's the light in the darkness, and go towards it. And as sincerely strive for that, you come to understand so many things about the impurities of the heart that are choking pure devotion. And then weeding time, remove the weeds, and then the creeper of pure devotional service will flourish. It's our process. Okay, thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
My grace, Romapada Swami Maharaja ki jai.